You think you'll have more time to grab the bag, time to decide, time to leave, but tonight, no warning, no second chance, and the plan you thought you had, already failing. Main roads, chocker, side streets, blocked, every route out, full of people who waited too long and now they're trapped. Bugging out in Britain isn't like the films, it's not heroic, it's not tidy, and for most people, it won't work. Welcome back to Charlie Survival. I'm not here to sell fear, I'm here because I see too many bug out plans made for American highways and desert wilderness. Not here, Britain's different. We're an island with one of the highest population densities in Europe. Our motorways grid for hours over a single crash, our A-roads snake through towns you can't bypass, and the weather, brutal. Storm Oren in 2021 left thousands without power for over a week in freezing temperatures, and that wasn't even national scale. We've seen petrol stations run dry in hours, supermarket shelves stripped bare after 2 snow days, and every time you hear it, I didn't think it would happen here. That's problem number 1, British complacency. We're polite, we queue, we wait it out, but in a real evacuation, waiting will kill your options. In the 2007 Gloucestershire floods, people didn't just lose homes, they lost drinking water for weeks. Some waited until it was impossible to leave. Roads gone, shops empty, no army at the door.
The police, fire and ambulance crews in many areas unable to cope with the sheer volume of calls from people stranded because of the deluge of water.
Bugging out isn't wilderness fantasy, it's leaving when home isn't safe, whether that's floodwater, riots, chemical leak or whatever's to come. And here's the truth, most UK bug out plans fail before step 1. Wrong timing, wrong routes, wrong gear, wrong mindset. In the next few minutes, I'll show you exactly why, so you can fix it now before you're that person stuck on the M25, rain pouring, clock ticking. The decision point, knowing when to leave. The first failure point in any UK bug out, deciding when to go. Too early, you look paranoid. Too late, you don't make it out. We've got the "it'll be fine" syndrome. We watch the news, we make tea, we hope it'll blow over. In a real emergency, every minute you wait, you're losing options. When the beast from the east hit in 2018, some villages in Devon and Cornwall were cut off for days. The ones who left the night before, safe. The ones who waited, stuck. Your trigger points have to be written down now while you're calm. If the river near your house hits X meters, if civil unrest breaks out within X miles, if the UK emergency alert goes off. When it hits, there's no should we wait, you just move, because in the UK an hour's head start is the difference between an open road and complete gridlock. Without a decision point, your bug out plan's dead before you've picked up the bag. The route problem. The second failure point, your route. In the UK, the fastest way out is usually the first to fail. Everyone's sat-navs sends them to the same roads, motorways and major A-roads. In a crisis, those become choke points. One crash, one police block, and you're done. In 2010, snow trapped hundreds overnight on the M8 in Scotland. Fuel gone, cars abandoned, and that was just weather. You need 3 routes. Primary, fastest in normal times. Secondary, slower B roads in rural lanes. Tertiary, the weird one, a zigzag maybe part on foot away from obvious traffic. Your secondary might look longer on paper, but it keeps you moving while the fast road dies. Test them now, drive them, cycle them, you'll find the pinch points. Single lane bridges, fords that flood, roads closed in storms. If your plan relies on a single bridge or crossing, it's not a plan. Most UK bug out routes fail because they copy someone else's best way out. The best way for them could trap you in minutes. Third failure point, the bag. Not because you don't have one, but because it's the wrong kit for Britain. Most UK bug out bags I've seen are either full of American wilderness gear that we'll never use here, or cheap Temu and Shein bundles that snap the first time you need them. Our climate, damp, cold, 9 months a year. Cotton hoodies and bargain multi-tools will ruin you. Think layers, merino, fleece, a real waterproof shell. Forget desert camo, stick to muted colours, greens, browns, dark greys. Blend in whether you're in a wood or walking down a side street. Shelter, you're not going on holiday. You'll need something light, fast to pitch, small enough to hide if needed. And weight kills more people than weather. If you've never walked a mile with your bag, you don't know your limit. Most overload on heavy equipment and then have to dump the important things after an hour. 5 basics: water, bottles plus filter and tablets, food, light, high calorie, shelter, tarp, bivvy, small tent, clothing, layers for warmth and rain, first aid, real kit, not just plasters. Test it now, in the rain, in the cold, in the dark, because if the first time you light your stove is during a blackout, you're already losing. The bug out section on my Amazon kit list is a great place to start. It has all the essentials you need. I'll leave the link in the description if you want to check it out. Stealth and the grey man in the UK. Fourth failure point, visibility. In a crisis, looking ready is the fastest way to attract trouble. Grey man doesn't mean head to toe grey, it means forgettable. Walk through town in full camo with a giant rucksack. You've just told everyone you've got supplies. Instead, aim for ordinary, neutral colours, no logos, no shiny kit dangling off of you. Your pack should look like something from Millets, not an army surplus store. Even your behaviour matters. Move with purpose, but not panic. If you look like you're running from something, people notice. In countryside, walk close to hedgerows and under horizon lines instead of exposed fields. At night, don't light yourself up like a torch parade. Use a red torch or shielded light, and if you camp, pick spots hard to approach quietly. In a UK bug out, people are your biggest obstacles. Most plans fail because they prepare for the elements, but not for human nature. Survival on the move. Fifth failure point, endurance. Bugging out in the UK isn't a scenic hike, it's mud, rain and a pack that gets heavier with every mile. You can go days without food, but not without water. In Britain, water's everywhere, but you can't drink it straight. Farm runoff, animal waste, chemicals, carry a filter or purification tablets. Food, keep it simple, high calorie, no fuss, energy bars, nuts, jerky, freeze-dried meals, and try them now, not when you're soaked on Dartmoor. Pace yourself, walk 50 minutes, rest 10. Change wet socks the moment you can. Trench foot will end your journey faster than hunger. Sleep matters too, even a 30-minute nap in a hedgerow can reset your head. Push too hard and you'll start making bad decisions. Most UK bug out plans fail because people think it's one unstoppable push to safety. In reality, it's a marathon in hostile weather. Pacing is survival. Group dynamics, the hidden risk. Sixth failure point, people. A group can double your chances or cut them in half. More people means more eyes, more hands, more skills. It also means more mouths, more options and more arguments. The best groups know their roles: navigator, medic, cook, security. Even dedicating someone to be a motivator matters when everyone's wet and cold. The danger is no clear leader or too many. In a crisis, decisions need to be fast. Sometimes it's a vote, sometimes one person calls it. If your group includes strangers, decide now what information you'll share. Supplies, destinations, that's sensitive in a crisis. Security shifts work better with more people. Alone you either sleep unguarded or not at all. But bigger groups are louder and easier to spot. One person can move stealthily along a hedgerow, 6 can't. Most UK bug out plans fail because they plan for the road, but not for the personalities walking it. Mental resilience. Seventh failure point, the mind. Most bug out plans collapse here before the body ever quits. Fear, regret, guilt, they'll hit harder than the rain. Leaving means walking away from everything familiar and you don't know if you'll come back. Some freeze, some panic, rushing into bad choices. You need to train your head like you train your kit. Break the journey into small wins like getting to the next village, water before sundown, warm and dry by nightfall. Routines help too. Pack camp, eat, move, rest, check gear. Even a simple rhythm calms the brain when everything else is chaos. If you're in a group, talk. If you're alone, speak your plan out loud. It keeps you focused. Most UK bug out plans fail because they only train the body. But if your mind breaks, the rest follows. Bugging out isn't glamorous. It's wet, cold, exhausting, and risky. And here in Britain, most plans don't last the first day. I'm not here to scare you. I'm here because the mistakes are fixable now. Set your decision points, know when you'll leave and stick to it. Map free routes and test them. Carry gear that works in our weather, not someone else's. Blend in, move quietly, pace yourself. If you're with others, know your roles and train your head for stress. The truth, Britain isn't built for mass evacuation. Our roads clog, our towns bottleneck, our weather turns without warning. Wait until the moment to figure it out and you're already too late. So fix the gaps now, run a drill this month, walk your routes, test your kit in the rain, because when it's time to go, there won't be a second chance. Comment below your views and opinions on bugging out in the UK and share it with the community. I've put real UK survival items into one place in an Amazon kit list in the description below. Subscribe, like and share to keep UK ready. Watch this video if you want to learn all about stealth camping. Stay safe, stay wild, and make sure you're not the one who fails. I'll catch you in the next one.